Construction News Tracker is presented by Caterpillar and produced by 4constructionpros.com. ABC has analyzed Census Bureau data and determined that non-residential construction spending dropped 1.2% in December, but finished 2019 with a 4.4% overall increase. Private non-residential spending fell 1.8% in December, while public non-residential spending dropped 0.4% for the same month. The total value of all U.S. construction put in place in 2019 amounted to $1.3 trillion, down 0.3%. However, public non-residential spending gained a nice 11.2%. The latest 10-year average in construction put in place has been 4%. The year-over-year change in residential construction ended 2019 at 5.8%. Meanwhile, the Commerce Department reports new home construction dropped slightly in January by 3.6% to 1.57 million starts, down from December's high of 1.63 million. January building permit applications, however, were up 9.2%. ABC chief economist Anirban Basau explains that private construction spending volumes in recent years has fallen off, while public construction dollars have been consistently supported as tax collections have fueled that sector of the economy. President Trump used part of his State of the Union address to voice support for a Senate committee effort to spend money on the nation's infrastructure. The Senate Environment and Public Works Committee voted last July to support legislation that would set aside $287 billion over a 5-year span on highways, but it's a far cry from completion as other congressional committees, such as Transit, Highway Safety, and Revenue, have yet to weigh in. Meanwhile, in the House, the Tax Writing Ways and Means Committee has endorsed a move to enhance multimodal connectivity through improved freight corridors and commercial distribution centers. The bipartisan committee support centers on a $760 billion infrastructure plan over 5 years, but as yet is unfunded. The House Transportation Committee is said to be working on a bill to update the 2015 FAST Act, which expires in September. TRIP, the National Transportation Research Agency, is reporting some interesting data indicating the amount of wear and tear on our nation's roadways from road and bridge deterioration. That, along with the congestion and lack of some safety features in Virginia, for example, is costing motorists there upwards of $9.5 billion annually. TRIP claims Virginia drivers are shelling out $2,283 per year in higher operating costs, traffic crashes, and costly delays due to the lack of adequate roadways. In New Mexico, for example, the TRIP research indicates motorists there are losing some $2.6 billion annually. Complete interesting data is available for all states from the Transportation Research Agency. For the first time ever, the federal government is waiving procurement regulations to build the border wall. The Department of Homeland Security announced the 10 waived laws include requirements for open bidding, justifying selections, and receiving all bonding from contractors before they begin work on 94 miles of wall along the Mexican border in California, Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico. The Army Corps has already vetted a dozen contractors for the wall construction effort. It's being called the Leaning Tower of Dallas after crews worked to demolish an 11-story building north of downtown Dallas recently. They were left with a leaning core. Officials with Lloyd Neighbors Demolition Company say they used 300 pounds of dynamite to topple it, but the inside core of steel and concrete was too strong. That's the leaning tower resulted. Now they're going to use the old tried and true method, a crane and steel ball, to demolish it entirely. A 3-building complex under construction next to I-85 in suburban Atlanta is unique in certain ways. One of the area's tallest buildings is expected to top out soon as the owner, Tyson Krupp Elevator Company, builds its North American headquarters. And that's where the uniqueness comes in. The complex will house the company's Innovation and Qualification Center, and when completed will be the tallest elevator test tower in the Western Hemisphere. The 400-foot building, going up at the rate of 7 feet per day, is being done by slipform construction, involving the continuous pouring of concrete into a moving form from the bottom up, using some 350 construction workers in the process. ThyssenKrupp is spending $200 million on the new development adjacent to the Atlanta Braves Stadium at the Battery. It's always been a big exposition, but this year's ConExpo convention show expected to top them all. Some 2,600 exhibitors are anticipated for the Las Vegas Convention Center ConExpo March 10th to the 14th, spread over 2.6 million square feet of space for exhibits and technical seminars. A workforce solutions venture will be a highlight of this year's show. AEM has teamed up with industry associations, educational institutions, and heavy equipment manufacturers to showcase the many trade skills available to students, and will bring many local candidates to ConExpo for a tour. Show managers expect some 130,000 to attend ConExpo this year. In closing, the secret of achievement is not to let what you're doing to get to you before you get to it. This is Construction News Tracker, looking over the industry that makes the world a better place, presented by Caterpillar and produced by 4constructionpros.com. Follow us on social media at Twitter using hashtag Construction News, YouTube at 4constructionpros, and on Facebook at /4constructionpros, as the streaming web never ends.
Construction News Tracker is presented by Caterpillar and produced by 4constructionpros.com.